Welcome to the Never Seen It podcast, the only podcast called Never Seen It that's worth listening to. And with us tonight, as always, ladies and gentlemen, as always, most of the time, Mr. Arnie the One-Man Party, a.k.a. Arnold Callego, Mr. Daily Dares, a.k.a. Filipino Grigio, a.k.a. Alex Callego, the Brothers Callego, and Mr. Donnie Guzman, a.k.a. Donnie Appleseed, the Cousins Callego. And then there's me, Boots Too Big, a.k.a. Adrian De La Torre. And tonight, we are discussing, speaking of fresh off the presses, the 2025 film Rosemead, directed by Eric Lin, starring Lucy Liu. In a race against time, an ailing woman discovers her teenage son's violent obsessions and must go to great lengths to protect him, and possibly others, in this portrait of a Chinese-American family, inspired by true events. And Alex, I believe you chose Rosemead. Obviously, none of us have seen it because it's a brand new movie. But tell us, why did you choose Rosemead?
Well, I actually did watch Rosemead in the theaters for the San Diego Asian Film Festival. Yeah, I chose it because, one, it was the centerpiece film for the festival. Two, it was just a fascinating topic. It's a story, as you see at the very beginning, inspired by true events. Like a very sad story, to be completely honest. I don't know if I am familiar or even heard about what happened. It sounds familiar, but like after like watching the movie and then seeing the article, I was like, oh, okay, I think I remember like this coming through. I mean, obviously with like, I mean, this came out, that incident happened in 2014, excuse me. The internet was like at like full, not at full speed, but it like definitely it was chugging through stories, not as fast as like, you know, it is today, but like it's just churning through stories, and you know, it just goes through your feed and stuff like that. But then the other thing that really drew me was the fact that it stars Lucy Liu, who we all know, like she back in the day, she was like a big star. You know, the last thing I recall her doing was Kill Bill, which I believe that was like in the early 2000s.
Yeah, like 2002. I think.
Yeah, I remember stumbling into the Arnold. Were you there when we went to the panel at San Diego Comic-Con for Kill Bill? We just kind of stumbled into it.
It was 2003. Yeah.
I don't remember it. No, I don't.
I love that movie. We stumbled into that panel. I was like, man, this is gonna be an awesome movie. We saw the trailers and everything. Anyways, she wasn't there. But that being said, yeah. I feel like she hadn't been in the limelight for quite some time, and like I'm sure we'll get into it more. But like, yeah, that's the reason why I picked this film.
Yeah, let me ask you now, Alex, right off the bat, Oscar nom for Lucy Liu. What do you think? What are we feeling?
She's a powerhouse in this film. I really, really do feel like she put her acting skills to the paces. I mean, not only did she like emotionally embody this character, but the fact that I mean, obviously she's Chinese, so she knows how to, in her mind, I'm sure she knows how to do a Chinese accent. But to do it convincingly and to do, I'm not familiar if she knows how to speak Chinese or not. Cantonese, Mandarin, I'm not sure which language, dialect she was speaking, but you know, that's another thing. This is like a somewhat of a foreign language film. There's a lot of subtitles in this, and for the most part, I would say at least 50% of the time she's speaking in Chinese. That's another thing for her to like. That's another thing, like to become an actor and speak in a different language. And I don't know if, like, again, I don't know if that's like her second language. I don't know how fluently she speaks it. But the fact that she's speaking in another language, for like in a film, acting, you know, and that's another skill, to act in another language that's not your main language. So,
well, I think she's on track for some kind of nomination next year because she was phenomenal. She disappeared into this character. I was kind of worried because I was like worried that I was going to only see Lucy Liu, but no, I feel like right off the bat, I was immersed in the story and it felt so I don't know, grounded in reality, and she was just amazing, which I'm sure we can all agree with probably. I don't know, the only movies I remember seeing her in growing up were Charlie's Angels and Kill Bill. I don't know if she was in Jerry Maguire. I think that was a smaller part, and she was also in Chicago.
She was in
she did a lot of. Oh, was she? Okay, yeah, she did a lot of voice. She's done a lot of voiceover work, I should say, from Kung Fu Panda movies to Mulan, Tinkerbell. She was in a movie with Adrian Brody called Detachment. I've never even heard of this movie. And Shazam. Who was she? Oh, Calypso. She was in Shazam as Calypso. I don't remember her in that. It must have been a really small part. Yeah.
Kung Fu Panda was probably the last for me.
Oh, yeah. Well, Arnold, I mean, right off the bat, what did you walk away from with this movie after having seen it? Because you watched it just yesterday, I believe, right? So
yeah, just or technically today, because I finished like at 12:30 a.m.
Gotcha.
But wow, I was just thinking this was based on true events, based on real life.
Heartbreaking
so I
story.
assume it took place in Rosemead, like the city.
Yeah.
I didn't realize that. I know it's close to like West Covina and that part of LA, San Gabriel Valley. That there's a lot of Asian population there. I didn't know that it was that much, because like even the way that the buildings looked with it looked very Asian. But both Lucy Liu and even the son, wow, they just did a really, really great job in their characters, the story, and just makes you think about mental, for the son, mental health of people, and Lucy Liu, and just how you hear people who have cancer, and some are just very open about it. They tell everyone, and they let people know right off the bat. But where there's some who hide it, and they don't tell anybody, and they want to keep it secret. That's everyone's decision. But if it were me, I would totally be open about it, just because for me, I feel like it would be better. But man, yeah,
there was
just how the
any
story
cultural angle to that. Sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt. But
no.
The reason why I ask is because my grandfather on my dad's side died from complications from having diabetes, and he first they took a toe, then a foot, then most of his leg, and then eventually he just passed. Dang. Unfortunately. And he was one of those guys, very old school Mexican man, who he doesn't tell you his problems outright. He doesn't I need to go see a doctor right away. It's like, no, it took a long time to get him to go see a doctor, and he only lasted a few years after. But is there a cultural angle to this as far as her character not wanting to share right away that she had cancer? Donnie, how say you?
I think just in Asian American cultures in general, including Filipinos, right? Growing up in where it's almost like it's almost seen as like a weakness, and I think universally with other cultures as well, but specifically with Asian American cultures, it's seen as a weakness to seek help, like when it comes to mental issues, right? And so a lot of it's not taught to you growing up. They kind of it's never talked about, just kind of avoid it. It's almost like the sex talk. I never had a sex talk, but it's like, aside from school, right? It's like in traditional American culture, you get that, but in Asian American culture, you kind of just skip over that. That you'll figure it out type of deal when you get to it. But same thing with the mental health issue. And that's why I really like this movie, because I think it's the first one that really addresses this for that platform. And Lucy Liu really steps outside of her boundaries in regards to she's seen as like a super badass character all the time, and she's so vulnerable in this film. And so I don't know, I thought it was amazing. It was super touching. And
shout out to Lawrence Shu, who plays the son. This is his only film credit.
Yeah. First film. Amazing.
Wow. This is like the second or third film we've talked about in the last few months where the child actors in it that just blew everything away. Yeah. Holy moly, he was so good.
There's a lot of relatable stuff. It seemed, just like little things, like at the beginning when in school, and they're taking that test, and then he sees people passing passing notes or sharing
Oh, yeah.
answers. And then, I mean, for me, one thing that I related to was like, especially in elementary and like middle school. This was before I got into like all the bad stuff. I was like straight A's. I was like student of the year every year, and people would be like, "Hey, you know," they would ask me for answers and stuff, and I was the type that would just like, you know, oh, show my paper, and then like, you know, just kind of look the other way, and then let people get the answers, and I don't know. Maybe I felt like I remember thinking like, oh, maybe then they'll be my friend or something, or maybe I'll be on their good side, gain favor.
If it's any consolation, Arnold, I never had that at all. So at least you had a taste of that, you know, just a little bit.
Nowadays, I don't know. My brain is so shot that I'm gonna be the one who's asking for answers.
I wanted to bring up the I like how in that scene that you're talking about, Arnold, how they introduce the fact that he is schizophrenic. You immediately hear him. You already see him like kind of like hearing voices, and they're kind of like whisperings, and he's like, you don't know what's going on. He's just confused or whatever. But then he hears somebody else whispering, and he's like not sure if he could trust it. But then it's the kid behind him, right? And then like he realizes, oh, that kid's like talking to me. He's like, hey, asking for the answer. And then he shows the kid the paper, and it's just a bunch of doodles of like the spiders and dead, you know. And that's like,
oh, yeah,
oh wow,
right.
there's something really wrong with this kid, you know. It's what's going on. And that's when you slightly start to understand the severity of his schizophrenia.
Yeah. Schizophrenics usually, I don't know what it is, but spiders is a reoccurring thing for schizophrenics. Yeah.
That's weird.
Interesting.
Because,
yeah, I don't know what the story is behind that or why
I don't
that
like
is.
spiders.
Yeah.
I do appreciate that they didn't play the schizophrenia in like that sort of typical Hollywood way where, I don't know, I feel like Hollywood never really depicts mental illness super accurately anyway. I was kind of afraid that was going to be the case with this movie, but it wasn't, because they show a lot of him being fascinated by school shooters, mass shooters.
Yeah.
And they do not play it, but they do depict him having that fascination, and they sort of set it up where you think that that's where it's going to go. But they have a specific moment where Lucy Liu's character, the mother, is talking to his doctor, and he tells her specifically, schizophrenic people are not prone to be violent. In fact, it's the exact opposite. And I think that was such an important moment to have, because I think that's more. It's good to have accuracy when you're telling a story like this and not go the Hollywood route of like,
yeah,
you know what I mean?
That's the cool thing about like, at the film festival, they interviewed him, right? They had the Q&A after the movie, and I posted it on our Instagram. If you haven't seen it, go check it out. But he talks about how, you know, this was his first role, but also that how much research he went into. They all kind of like would, you know, help like each other out and try to like depict somebody who is like suffering from schizophrenia in a more honest, true to life way.
Yeah. I know this was like Lucy Liu's like baby project. Like it's been on the back of her mind for like years. And so there was a lot of care that went into like how it was going to be portrayed and how it came out on film or on the big screen. And I know that even when she was trying to get support and funding for the film, you know, everybody that she talked to, she went in there telling him, hey, like, you need to go into this knowing that you're not making it for the money. It would be nice if we make money off of it, but we're doing it as a means of communication and education, right? And so I think that really kind of changed the dynamic of the film and how it was made and created. Just going into it knowing that you're doing this for, you know, not for money, but to educate people.
Yeah. I wish all art was like that. You know,
Yeah.
I wish that was always a philosophy. It's like, don't go into it expecting to get rich. Go into it expecting to make people feel something.
The products would be so much better if that were the case.
100%.
Yeah. As I've gotten older, I feel like I appreciate movies like this because it is grounded in reality, and it tells a great story, as tragic as it is, right? Because the other thing that we should talk about is the fact that his father is deceased in this story, and I wasn't clear on did that lead to him having schizophrenia, or was that it did? Okay, I wasn't sure what.
It just
I think it was like a trigger.
Yeah, it was a trigger.
Okay.
Exactly. Yeah.
And from what I've heard, having schizophrenia, you hear voices in your head, like literally voices, and they did that really well in the sound design. It was very eerie. And I remember years ago, I watched a video on YouTube that is like a schizophrenia simulator video where it kind of depicts, and man, it's very creepy, if, for lack of a better word. So seeing that depicted in this film was great. But I don't know. I was really rooting for Lucy Liu, her character, to tell him what was going on, and she didn't. But it was interesting. There was a moment I got to pull up my notes, but there's a moment where he finds her meds, I think, and he like sees that it's for something. Can't remember what exactly, but it was interesting to me because in that moment you realize, oh, they're both keeping a big secret from each other. Like she's keeping her cancer a secret from him, and he's keeping the secret of what's happening in his mind right now from her. And I thought that was such an interesting like theme of like they're both just not. If only they would just talk to each other. Yeah, you know what I mean?
Yeah, they were like they wouldn't talk to each other about it, but they like were trying to protect each other.
Right.
Yeah.
And to what end? I mean, yeah.
I know.
She was, as a mom, she's trying to make sure that that he's okay, right? And like already with that dying being a trigger, it's like if she said something to him, it's like, you know what I mean? Like she thought that it would make it worse, and so she's trying to protect him. But oh man, crazy.
Did you guys go ahead? Go on.
I always feel like that just communicating is always good. Just
no, definitely
like not hiding anything.
Did you find that was a similar issue? Because I noticed kind of some parallels in the movie Dee Dee, which we discussed recently. Did you sort of notice similar issues or similar parallels to that movie where you have a mother-son dynamic and they're just not? Yeah, it's so interesting that we've done two movies now that have that similar theme.
Yeah,
it's the whole Asian culture thing in general, like the whole diaspora. Like Donald, Arnold, and I, we've all experienced that sort of sort of distant nature, but still protective of us. Like they don't tell us a lot, but they still.
That's so true. Yeah.
It's
like what's crazy. Yeah. I was sorry. I was just going to say that I know nothing about my dad's childhood. Like I almost know nothing. It's a black box of lore.
I had to pry it out of my parents.
Right. And the thing is, like Monty will know a lot about I shouldn't say his name, but my kid will know a lot about my childhood because I always drip feed him information and I tell him, and if he has questions and as he gets older, like I would love to share that. Even the bad stuff, right? Like why not? But I don't know. I guess maybe it's a Hispanic cultural thing as well, where parents just don't want to talk about stuff. It's like
people can learn from even the bad stuff.
Yeah, exactly. Adversity.
And with social media, our stuff is going to be out there. Forever.
Yeah, for real.
Well,
at the time,
we're all of the age where we kind of came up a little bit right when social media was sort of starting to take off. But can you imagine if it was like around when we were in high school, middle school? Like, oh no, that would have
been different. We'd be all 6'7"ing.
I've had this conversation with Alex in the past, but it's like in our family, it's like you're always worried about, just even within our family, right? Like you're always worried about how you're perceived by like my parents would be worried about how I would be perceived in front of Alex's family. We're all related, but it's like, you know what I mean? Like, it's like the way you present yourself. It's like you have to hold yourself to this like standard that they build up in their head, and you always want to put out this image and not talk about the real problems or, the real concerns that are going on behind closed doors. It's so weird. It's like we're all family, but still there's this barrier that we put up, and we pretend that everybody is good, at every part.
I think there's go ahead, Arnold.
Oh, no, I was just gonna say almost like a keeping up with the Joneses sort of thing, but not exactly.
I was gonna say that. Yeah.
Within the same family, which is crazy.
Yeah. It was that crazy thing too, because like I remember when our older brother Donnie had graduated from college, right? It was a huge deal. that a bunch of our aunts and uncles showed up to his college graduation. What we all realized, at least I realized, is he was the first of the whole younger generation to have graduated from college with a degree. And it was a big deal. And that added a little, I feel like it also added a lot of pressure on myself, but I don't know about Arnold, but at least for me, I saw like how we were perceived, or how our family was perceived, and it was kind of a bummer to me, because I did not want to be perceived as like the same as Donnie. Like, he's his own person. I was into so much other stuff. I was into art, culture, and music, and I wanted to go in that direction. But the pressure to go, like, to succeed in general was so like heavy that to like say, like, at least for me as the middle child especially, I felt like neglected. I felt undeserving of like any, like the thing, like I wanted to be loved, but I also wanted to be loved for who I was, not who I wasn't.
Yeah, that's well said. I think that's like part of that whole generational trauma, right? I know even in my family, when Donnie graduated, it's like, that's the new expectation. Like, oh, we want you to do the same exact thing. We want you to be, it's, every family. Yeah. It's like, it's crazy. And then you're always getting compared. Just there's a lot of generational trauma that.
you know what it led me to do? What's that? It led me to want to do the opposite.
Yeah, right.
It led me to like, right. I'm in the back of my mind, it was like, I'm gonna try and make it without a college degree. And then what happens? I'll go and get into one network marketing, multi-level marketing company, and then another, and then another, and then
did you get looped into an MLM back in the day?
Shit, man.
Not just one or two, but like I think altogether there was probably about 10 that I went through.
Little pyramids.
Looking back on it now, don't you appreciate that you had those experiences, because it's part of who you are, your character growth, right? Like,
I learned a lot. I learned. It wasn't just for nothing. Right. I met a lot of really great people. Some I still keep in touch with. A lot of very entrepreneurial people. Definitely, more on the salesy side. But now, where I work now, it's still. I'm not in. I'm in fundraising, but I'm not like doing the ask. But I see them, and I see the difference with them versus multi-level marketing is it's a lot more polished and just very natural with the way that they do it, and
they're very good with it.
I'm glad you bring up the lingo, because for those of you that don't know, Arnold works in hospital fundraising specifically, and the ask means essentially asking very wealthy people for lots of money.
Yeah.
And it's not always money too. They'll donate money, they'll donate property, they'll donate cars,
estate,
land, estate. Yeah, exactly. So we have a whole side thing going on with that little project we were working on for a while, but it's good stuff. I'm glad going back to the meeting the expectations and all that. The scene that also really stuck out to me was when they're at it's like a house party or something, and there's women there who are like, they're gossiping about Lucy Liu's character, like, on the side or whatever, trying not to. And that felt so real to me.
That is real.
Yeah, because that happens in Latino culture as well. I don't know if it's. I want to say it's a little bit less explicit. Yeah, like the gossiping in Hispanic culture, if you know, it's all the time. It's constant. We're always gossiping. We're always up in each other's shit, whether we are willing to admit it or not. What did you guys think about it? It was kind of a funny scene, but also kind of like it felt like a drag on her character. But yeah, how did you guys feel about that moment? Where they're all whispering. Yeah.
So I think it stays true to reality, for real, right?
Yeah. The food looked really good too. Some of it, I was like, what? They get that from 85 degrees?
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure they did.
Oh,
yeah, that or their local Chinese bakery. Yeah.
Do you see the one with the hot dog in it?
The bun with the hot dog? Yeah, that's so good.
Yeah, I was like, that looked like straight
had
up
one
from
the other day.
85 degrees.
Really quick, and not to get too much of a side tangent, even though I always say that, and we always do it anyway. In Hispanic culture, someone will hire like a taco person to come make tacos for a party. Is there an Asian equivalent to that? Is there somebody you hire to come and make food for a party? That's
Well, usually
similar to-
get it catered if that.
Catered.
Like,
Yeah.
but there's a lot of pride, at least in the Filipino culture. Like, there's a lot of pride taken in like the dishes that we make.
okay.
You know, like this family member is known for certain dishes. The other family members are known for
Oh yeah,
another
we
one.
have
Like,
that too. Yeah.
yeah, our
Like
our
potlucks
auntie
and
Elvie, she's like known for her fruit salad, her Filipino fruit salad. Like everybody loves
nice.
it. Like people will take leftovers home of her fruit salad.
Is it like an ambrosia salad or
It's
similar?
somewhat similar, but it's like
But
it's got these like yeah, it's equivalent, but it's got more like Filipino like ingredients in there.
and as
Gotcha.
Emerald would say, a couple other notches up.
Food is such a big part of Filipino and Mexican culture. I've come to realize, like, food is everything. It's the great equalizer that brings people together.
Hey,
And
Adrian, I have
you
a
know-
question for you.
Oh, absolutely.
When you
Hit me with it.
when you go to like a Mexican household and like they say, "Hey, come here and eat," do you have to decline it a few times before you say accept it?
It depends on who it is. If it's my grandma's house, I can easily say, "Oh, I'm fine, Grandma. I already ate, but thank you so much," and she won't push. If it's like an aunt or uncle's, or it just depends, you know.
Yeah.
Most of the time, you can just say, "Oh yeah, sure, yeah, I'll have a little something," because that's like a big, you know. A lot of people show, like my dad's. They say you've heard of love languages, right?
Yeah.
My dad's love language is food. Like he always wants to get people, like he always wants to feed you. Every time I go visit home, he always wants to feed me. He always wants like, where do you want to go? You want to go here? You want to go here? Oh, I know this place. So it always revolves around foods.
That's how our dad
So
was.
language.
Yeah.
Our dad,
Yeah,
how my
like,
parents
whenever
are too.
like there was food
Yeah.
around, like I remember this one time, Justin came over and we had some pandesal. It's like the Filipino sweetbread, like salty and
nice.
sweetbread, but it was filled with ube. And like my dad was like, "Justin, you want to try this ube bread?" And then like Justin, he's like, "I don't know, I've never had it." But Justin's always been down to like try stuff. That's what I love about Justin. He like just super down to try new things, and he's like, "Yeah, I'll try it." And he's like, "Man, this is so good."
That's probably why
But
they
yeah,
love him too.
Oh yeah.
Especially
But
if you have
the
like
reason-
oh, your friend likes Deadpool?
Yeah, you know what? I
No,
noticed
no.
that. Like my friends, yeah.
Yeah.
No, I
Those
was just gonna say my
specifically,
friends.
yeah. They'll specifically like once they find out you like that stuff, like they'll remember it. And like if Justin comes over, like, oh, my mom will be like, oh, well, not my mom, but like if our dad was still alive, he'd be like, oh, get that ube pandesal. Justin likes it. Just because
I
he's
love that.
visiting. Just
Yeah.
because he's
Yeah.
visiting. Yeah.
Connected
And-
that with that moment with that, like, oh, I gotta get it again.
Yeah.
Right.
But yeah, the reason why I
in a
brought that up
Hispanic
was like
household. Oh, go ahead.
the reason why I brought up like the whole thing is in Filipino culture, you're always like when you go to somebody's house and they ask if you want to eat, you have to decline it 3 times. After the third time, then you're like, okay, yeah, sure.
I
I'll
get
take
that.
it. Yeah.
I think in Hispanic culture, it's a little bit more open. Like, oh yeah, like sure. Unless I guess if you're like a kind of a stranger, maybe. But they always offer you, even if it's like something to drink. Like in my parents' household, when I'm visiting, especially like we'll have coffee and pan dulce at like 9:00 at night. Like straight up, my mom will like, who wants coffee? Oh, go get some pan dulce from the store, and then like we'll literally have that at like 9 or 10 p.m. at night. Like,
Oh,
a
man.
cup of coffee and a pan dulce. So yeah,
I could do
it's
that,
always
too.
about food or drink, always. You know.
Yeah.
Which I kind
yeah.
of like that. I do love that actually, because you know, who doesn't want a sweet
Yeah.
treat and a coffee at 9 p.m. at night
Yeah.
on a Tuesday?
Hey, quick minute. We're at Adrian, you said 30 minutes, right?
We are 30 minutes. Yes.
Okay,
Is this,
that-
is this up and stretch?
That both that was my chair.
Are you sure?
Monty, you gotta put him to bed, right?
He's got some time actually.
Okay, well then I'll just stretch.
Okay. Well, while you're doing that, just quickly want to announce Healing Laughter Power, of course, is in the chat with us tonight. Healing Laughter Power, and there's 2 other people that are watching us. I don't know who they are, but if you guys want to join in and with the discussion, please, by all means. While Arnold, because this is the kind of content we bring to the table. So if you're not engaging with this kind of content, what are you even doing? You know what I'm saying? So, but go Arnold.
Just had
going
to
back to
stretch.
the movie, good stretch. The scene where, so it's the same scene where they're at the house and the ladies are gossiping, and then what is the son's name? I should have had that written down, but he goes with one of his friends from school.
His name is Joe.
She invites him upstairs, and I think for a moment there he thinks he's gonna get lucky. Was I getting that right? Like he thought he was gonna get lucky because
I
he was kind of.
That's what I was thinking.
Yeah.
That's what
I think I'm going upstairs.
Dude,
Yeah.
who is that actress, by the way? I've seen her before. I just can't pinpoint where I've seen her.
That's a good question.
She kind of looks like my friend's daughter.
I've seen her in something else. I can't remember what it is, but I definitely have seen her before.
What was because his other friend?
I
Was
think her name was
upstairs waiting.
Jeannie, right? Jeannie?
Something like that, yeah. I should pull up IMDb when I have. I always do Letterboxd. Letterboxd doesn't really give you like a good who plays who.
It's hard to access that on Letterboxd. It's not so as quick as you can with like
I know.
IMDb.
You know, I think
IMDb.
she might be
I
on the
love
sitcom.
Bottle.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I love
Kylie?
I love Letterboxd, but that's like the thing that they always kind of fail on is like the searchability, the ease of searching.
No, I agree. I'm not sure which character she was, but yeah, she takes him upstairs, and his other friend is there, and you kind of immediately see the look of disappointment in his face. What was the thing that they were talking to him about? I don't remember that.
They were talking about like the moment when they saw him, like after the the active shooter drill, and he like took off and was like he started hearing his mom's voice, and he was looking for her, and he was running through like those classrooms, those empty classrooms that were being like remodeled, and he was like freaking out. It's like, leave her alone, because like he started like because there's that fear of like his mom losing his mom, because like I think that's one of those. I'm not sure if he saw before or after that his mom was going into treatment again, but like I think it was around that time when he was like he started like trying to protect her, right? It was like his way. He was scared of losing her, so he was trying to find a way to like, I don't want to lose you, and then like that kind of probably in his head developed into this thing that people were after her. Oh no, that's what it was. I remember now. They were trying. He found the paper about that was talking about. Well, he discovered both of those at the same time. Whereas like he discovered the paper that was talking about the sale of the print shop. And
that's right, because they had a print shop. Yeah.
Yeah. So yeah.
Those were some good friends though, who were like, what talk to him about that, because they were legit worried, concerned about
real
him.
Ones.
Yeah.
The other thing that Lucy Liu's character was ashamed of was the fact that he was seeing a therapist. Is that another one of those cultural things where that's like kind of a taboo?
Yeah.
That's so interesting.
Definitely.
100%.
Definitely in the Asian culture. Yeah. I know that.
Why do you think that is? Is that too individualistic or something? Is there
It's a
something to
shame
that?
thing again. Once again, it's a shame thing.
Yeah.
Shame, weakness.
Yeah. Yep.
Yeah.
Both of those.
Somebody said, "Therapist, you sound like a foreigner." And I thought that was such a great line, and I guess that kind of encapsulates what we're talking about, right? Like, I guess they see it as a Western thing, like mostly Western.
Yeah. 100%.
It reminded me of that line, and this is kind of unrelated, but in Crazy Rich Asians, where the one woman says, "Eat something because there's children starving in America." And I'm always here for jokes at America's expense, because we do deserve it, And that line kind of just reminded me of that line as well. And that's a great movie, by the way, Crazy Rich Asians. I watched it one night.
That was a good one.
Not thinking I was going to enjoy it, but Michelle Yeoh, I believe, who stars in that.
Michelle Yeoh.
She's brilliant. Michelle Yeoh.
She wasn't she the mom in Dee Dee? Or
No,
no?
that was a different
No,
actress.
that's somebody else. Never mind.
She was a mom in Everything Everywhere All at Once. Have you guys watched that?
Yes. Yeah.
We should do that one, honestly, because that's...
we need to do that movie. That's a good.
Yeah, I definitely got to.
that's a
I started
trippy
watching
movie.
it, but I didn't finish it. So hey, if you need somebody who hasn't seen it, this guy, because I fell
All I'll
asleep.
say is the VFX are fantastic, and they were done by two dudes
Wow.
with visual effects training off of what they learned on YouTube. That movie was made, compared to other movies, that movie was made for nothing. Yeah, it's a very impressive feat.
I remember Michelle Yeoh in. I remember I had a big crush on her in. What was that Super Cop? A Super Cop. The one with Jackie Chan.
I normally skip the first part of those, Arnold. But yeah, I kind of know what you're talking about.
So the super part?
Never mind. I was making a bad joke. Go ahead.
I just remember having like a big crush on her. I'm like, wow, whoa, dude.
I had a question as well that I wrote down in my notes was, why doesn't Joe, that's the son's name, why doesn't Joe want to take his meds? What was your guys' interpretation of that? Well, why didn't he want to take them?
Did he mention it at one point? Like he said it messes him up. What did he say? He said something. He actually had a line about that. You guys remember that?
Yeah.
Yeah, I forgot what he said exactly.
Isn't it like when people who take like like meds for that kind of thing, it just kind of like numbs them, right? Like that, like when it comes to people on like antidepressant pills and like stuff for like schizophrenia. I've heard things about like how it kind of just makes everything just so numb. You're just like don't even feel real. Like it like and even in some cases can cause even more severe depression from what I hear. I'm not.
A friend of mine has said that exact thing. Because he's been on those types of medications, and he says, yeah, like it basically makes you sort of null and void emotionally. Like you don't really feel anything, and that not feeling anything makes it feel worse. If that makes sense, like it's a weird.
Yeah, not being able to feel emotion and stuff like that, just because like that's the whole point of life, right? We want to feel like something, that we desire to like not feel so numb to the world, but the fact that they desire to have that, but they also desire to not harm themselves or anything like that. It's such a like a double-edged sword.
Yeah, it's tough from what I've heard. I think it's getting better. I think the science behind that sort of medicine has gotten better, but
HLP says you feel gray.
You feel gray. Oh, that's a good way to put it. Because gray is a neutral color, right? It's neither dark nor light. It's both.
Yeah.
That's a great. Thank you. See, HLP. He always comes in clutch. When we're talking about these sort of things. Arnold, you come in clutch when I'm forgetting a word or something, and HLP comes in clutch. So this is good. We need to just have HLP here in the channel all the time. But yeah, and so the other thing, the big motif throughout the movie is the motel that Joe's always thinking about when he's. By the way, are they called not episodes? Are they called where they're being manic? Is that the right term?
Incidents.
Or is it something else? Incidents. Okay. Because there's moments throughout the movie where he'll run off and he starts rambling about things and I don't know what that's called technically, but yeah. So you're saying incidents, and I thought that was the way they portrayed that was really well done.
Yeah.
Because it felt so real.
Going back to like how the Asian parents are ashamed. Like I don't want to like curtail what you're talking about, but just to touch back on the whole situation. Remember in the police station where he's like Joe has an incident and he gets brought in. He's not arrested,
right?
But like they inform her, the mom, Irene, that's her name, right? Irene, that he's going to be turning 18 soon. Once he turns 18, he's no longer under her care and has is responsible for himself. And if he gets caught with another one of those incidents, he could be brought in and submitted as 5150 and put into like a facility. And so they were trying to avoid that. They're trying to avoid that, and she was like afraid, like she was ashamed of that and didn't want like that to happen to her, and like she's like that's never gonna happen. So it was just kind of like it's an interesting thing, Yeah.
So. I was really worried in that scene because living in the U.S. and knowing how cops respond to any given incident, and then knowing how they respond to incidents that involve people with mental health issues. I mean, I won't get into specifics, but we've all seen those stories that can end very badly. And I was so worried for Joe. I was like, oh gosh, something's gonna happen. Thankfully, it didn't go as bad as I had in my mind thought. But it really tells you something about the police culture in this country and how they're just not prepared to deal with.
The way that cop brought up that You want us to just leave him behind? Like, very insensitive.
Oh yeah. Yeah, like that, like that's really going to help the situation. Like, you want us to just have done nothing? Like, no, like I want you to do something, but I want you to also know what you're doing. Like, it shouldn't be.
I want
so
you to
much
have a little bit empathy.
Yeah, a little bit. Well, remember, Alex, empathy is a liberal construct, as people have said. So it's not real. It's a new wave liberal thing. This empathy
such a liberal
thing
that even Jesus Christ talked about it, right?
Right, exactly.
So that's such a liberal thing, right?
Yeah, we're in the post-empathy era, so get on board or do something. HLP says that those drugs, it's the wanting of not being heavily sad, but then you lose those great joyous moments. That's so real from what I've heard, and that tracks. So yeah. But again, it's like how do we not have people on the streets, policing the streets, that also just don't know how to work with people who have mental health issues? I think it's really sad. Police are greedy. They need to break it up to specialists, but they rather keep their large bank. I could get down with that. I half understand what you're saying, HLP, and I can get down with it still. So, but yeah, that was a really good scene. And then, what was it about? What was it about the print shop that was also one of his incidents that he was having? He thought somebody was coming in to take over.
When he ran into there in the middle of the night?
Yes, yeah. Like, what was it about the print shop? Like, I feel like that represented something for Joe.
Go ahead.
I think he was looking for something.
No, he was.
It seemed like he was.
No, he went in there. He was protecting. He went in there protecting the print shop. Like, you're not gonna take this. Remember, he was standing guard.
I think it's because it's like something that his family built with his dad, right? It's a part of like the whole. It's like it's theirs, and so he's trying to protect that.
Yeah.
Was there another shop? I feel like there was the print shop, and I feel like there was something else where the mom worked.
Oh, wasn't she going like to her friend's like medicine shop or something, or like not medicine, but like Eastern, like herbs and stuff,
tinctures.
Yeah.
The print shop scene was really interesting, and I was really worried. I'm always just worried for Joe throughout this entire thing. Yeah. And then I can't remember. There's also a scene where she goes to see the doctor. There's two scenes with the doctor. The last one is, I think she basically tells her that she only has like X amount of time left.
Yeah,
a few months.
And then, a few months. And right then I was already starting to see how this was going to kind of shake out as far as the story goes. And I started to feel really bad, really sad for her, because she's dying and her son is going through these issues, and it's like there's nothing scarier to me, I guess, as a parent, the idea of like thinking, I will not be able to be there to protect my kid. Like, wow, that hit really hard. And Donnie, you're a dad too. I mean, you tell me, like, did you kind of how do you sort of see yourself as a parent just after having watched this? I feel like there's something, right?
There's like I think for her, she was feeling like that's just like it's like a sense of failure, right? If that happens. The scene that really got me was, I think they were in the garage. I don't know if that was the garage, but they were looking, she walked in on Joe and he was looking at the photo album on the ground. You know what scene I'm talking about?
The garage.
That was like same scene. Closer to his like birthday, right? Like,
yes. Yeah. Right before. It's actually, she was talking to him about his birthday after that. But that scene got to me because he says to her, I miss Dad and I miss you. And she was like, what do you mean? I'm right here. And he's like, but you're sick again. Like that really got to me.
Yeah.
When Silas was younger, my son, when we first did the divorce and he started realizing that we were going through a divorce or what divorce meant, like he pretty much said those same lines to me, and it triggered me, it's like shit, dude. It's like, and so you kind of, that's kind of what got me, and it was just like, I don't know, it hit really hard, and I was like, it actually like made me tear up a bit at that point. So
it's so hard, when they're at the age where they don't fully understand things and they think, it's gonna be like the end of the world. Yeah, it sucks. I've been through it. I know what you mean. I can relate to that a lot. But yeah, I mean, that's just part of life, Sometimes life just throws those curveballs at you. I don't know if you can call it a curveball in my case, but you know what I mean. For lack of a better term.
I remember a moment when we were younger. I remember when our dad lost his job. He got laid off, and it was just a scary moment. It was a reality that I didn't understand, and I could tell like how fearful my dad was. He just didn't really communicate it. But it was just a lot of the, like, when we would ask for things, or he's like, I don't have a job. Like, how am I going to pay for this? You know, things like that, you know? And like, it was a reality that I had no clue on how to understand, but like the fact that it looks so heavy for him to deal with, that's how I understood it. And like, I can imagine like, it's not, I don't know, it's definitely not the same vein, but it's definitely still like a life changing moment for like a kid, you know?
He definitely didn't communicate it because I'm trying to think, was I even born? I don't remember when he got laid off.
I think you were born, but you're still like a baby. Like, it was like,
okay.
It was a little bit, it was like during the whole the spa hotel.
Oh, okay.
During that time,
okay.
you were still.
It was from the
really
spa
young.
that he got laid off.
I believe so.
Oh, okay.
It was either the spa or it was like that, because he used to work for Eisenhower for a little bit too.
Yeah.
Yeah. So
I think our
can't remember
parents
if
did
it
a
was
really
that
good job at like really making you feel like everything's okay. Like I know me growing up, like I never felt like we were struggling. You know, they would do everything they could do, and you know, my dad was a dishwasher his whole life. Like, that's not, you know, so it's like, it's crazy how like the struggles they went through, like having 2 jobs just to make it feel like everything is a-okay, and you could have, you know, everything's gonna be good. You know, you don't have a sense of like feeling that you're poor or that you can't get something because of a situation. So
going back to what you were saying though, Donnie, my dad is the same way too. Like, he doesn't show vulnerability when he's struggling or whatever it is that he's going through. He always has to sort of maintain this facade of like, no, I'm fine, I'm solid, don't worry about me. I think it's a generational and cultural thing, especially like 100%. My dad's generation. You know, you just don't whine about your problems, you know, and stuff like that. I think it's changing. Obviously, I think people our age group are more open to just being vulnerable. You know, like Alex has said on this show several times, like, I wear my heart on my sleeve, and I respect that. I still want to work on that part of myself too. It's because you know, you grow up as a man, and it's like, oh, like, you just don't have to. You got to be tough. You know, keep your chin up. Blah blah blah.
Do you do that with Monty?
But there's times when you should be vulnerable, right? So.
Yeah, like with Monty, have you ever like? Are you the same way with like, because you said your dad was like that? Are you the same way with Monty as a dad?
No, I try to be more open in front of him. There's definitely been times, believe me, where I've gotten very emotional in front of him, and I always try to explain things. I always try to explain if I'm angry, it's because of this reason, because of that reason, or it's because, you know, I try to anything really. Like, I try to over-explain so that he understands that it's not. I'm not telling you this because I say so. Like, it's not that kind of dynamic.
Yeah.
I'm telling you this because I know what's good for you, because I'm older than you and I've experienced life, and trust me, like, you know, this is why I need you to do this. So, well, and he understands.
It's also, it's also that sort of thing where, like, I feel like, at least for me when I was younger, if you aren't open enough to tell your kids why you're upset about something, or when you're obviously upset about something, right, you instantly think they're mad at you. That's how I always perceived it every single time. Like, if they didn't explain it to me and they were mad, I didn't understand what was going on, so I just thought they were mad at me. So I just kind of like, okay, you know, was afraid of getting spanked. You know?
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. But
sometimes that made it worse, you know, like, they just get more upset with you because you think they're mad at you. Yeah. But it just kind of it just turns into this like vicious cycle, and then like it just ends up them getting mad at you because you're, you know.
Definitely. And I think that's why our generation is starting to change on that front, as far as just being more open about why we feel what we feel and trying to explain how things work, sort of, you know. Because the better you explain to a child, the better they're going to be prepared when they grow up and they start going through their own stuff.
You need to understand, you know. So I agree 100%. I do the same thing with
There's a healthy amount of adversity I think a person should face in life, right? Like, nobody should not face any problems throughout life. I think that's what
nowadays another obstacle of, you know, trying to teach them is getting their attention. You know,
Right.
at least in my experience is like.
Do you just mean
you know,
because there's so much stimulation constantly from phones and screens?
Yeah,
Yeah, I bet.
yeah. They're wanting to, their attention is there versus like actually talking to you and listening to you.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
like they'll talk and then but then they think like it's just a yes or no question and then they can continue doing, but then they're like, no, they lean it. They're like learning and teaching them how to have a conversation is I don't know. Maybe that's just how it is for kids, but there's some kids who are more talkative.
I recently saw a video about I think he was this tech guy, but he was saying like how at his job he's like he witnessed this younger person go on ChatGPT. He's like, I wanting to get the answers. I don't want to know how it's done. I just want to know the answer. And I think that's a big major problem with like, I totally agree with that guy. It's like people don't want to know the process. They don't want to understand the nuts and bolts of how they got to this. They just want the answer.
Yeah.
That's part of the whole emotional process is like you have to go through the pain, you have to go through the suffering, and you have to understand that's like, you know, that's part of the whole thing, you know? Like people like want to go from like say for instance like the death of our father. Some people want to go from the, you know, experiencing that to just being happy again. But it doesn't work that way. You have to understand the process, and sometimes part of the process is learning the process. You know, because you don't know,
Right.
You know, and I think that's the whole stumbling block with like newer generations and even older generations. Like it just seems like there's this middle generation right now where we're trying to like get those two generations to understand that, but technology is harming the newer generation, and the older generation is just stubborn. You know, and it's like,
Yeah.
well, how do you?
It's a problem.
You know,
Two extremes, both extremes.
yeah.
Yeah.
I hope that the pushback continues against everything being digitized now. Like you sort of see the trend of people consuming physical media now instead of just everything on the phone. Because there was something to that. Like I talked about this before. There's something that was we used to live in a more tactile world. Like I remember the feeling of putting a VCR tape in the VCR and hearing the thing clunk and all the mechanics inside of it whirring and blah blah. And turning on a PC and you hear all the internals starting up inside of it. The famous sound of a generation is the dial-up sound, right? The 56K modem, like you know, like things made noises and you felt it, and it you know, and we don't have that as much anymore. I think
Speaking about physical media, I mean, not to like plug it, like hey, right now is a Criterion sale. I got, what's it, Flow?
Oh,
the Criterion edition of
good.
Flow. That was a
Nice.
really good movie. And then, Chungking Express. Let's see, Chungking Express.
There it is.
Criterion edition, and yeah, I think in the mail I have the Beastie Boys music video collection Criterion.
Yeah.
That's coming in the mail.
So for those of us that don't know, which includes myself, Criterion is just like a very large set of curated movies that they think these are some of the best, right?
Well, not just that. It's Criterion is also like the I would say like the ultimate edition of like all the, you know how like back in the early days of like buying special editions, they had like all these special features and commentary. Well, this is like the ultimate version of a lot of that stuff, right? It has like as much as you possibly can. Plus, like even curated liner notes inside the DVDs. Like,
oh, nice.
For instance, I think with Chungking Express, there's this like little booklet that comes with it, and it has like just like a story about the making of the film and like some words, like, you know. And
we recently did a Criterion movie, Takeout, available now.
Yep.
Which we had a great discussion on as well, and yeah, I think the art of that sort of the art of the DVD commentary track is also gone, I believe. I used to listen to DVD commentary tracks all the time. Nobody does that anymore. Or if they do, they don't include it, you know, on streaming as much. From what
they're
I've
included in Criterion editions.
There you go. See, because those were just like real-time podcasts of just talking about the movie, and it's like it was so great, you know, like it was an art in and of itself. But yeah, going back to Rosemead, we gotta talk about the ending because it is probably the most gut-wrenching ending in a movie I've ever seen. Because I didn't know it was headed in that direction. Because I missed the part that it was based on reality, and I didn't know what the real life story was about.
Well,
but go ahead.
Let's just spoiler alert. There goes Arnold.
Spoiler alert, yeah.
Spoiler alert, Arnold's doing his hip stretching. But during it, if you want to understand where this movie is coming from, people who are listening, if you haven't seen this movie yet, go look up the article. Go like this. There's no spoilers in this film, to be quite honest. If you go and you read the article, because people are going into this knowing the story. Right, and so they know the ending. Yeah,
it sticks pretty close to the true story.
Yeah, it does.
It's very close. Yeah,
and so that's the whole thing. It's like I think that's the whole thing why it says at the very beginning of the movie, inspired by true events.
Right.
So there's that whole hope that this is gonna be a different take on it.
Right.
But to be fair and to be true and authentic to the story and to the people who are this is about, you can't go another way.
No, that would have been bad if they tried that.
Yeah. And to give more context, Joe goes missing for a whole day or two, I think. I don't remember the exact amount of time that he goes missing for. And Irene, played by Lucy Liu, is going all over town looking for him, obviously in a panic and putting up flyers and all that. And eventually she finds him at the motel where he's always having the memories of the last happy memories he had of them as a family, his mother, his dad, and him in the motel room and stuff. And she finds him there hiding in the bushes. And I believe it's on his 18th birthday. That night is his 18th birthday when she finds him. And then they go and stay in a hotel.
I think it's a few days before. Or
at least a day or two. Before?
Yeah, because I remember she brings him home and he's laying in bed and she's bringing him his meds.
Oh, you're right. I'm sorry. I skipped over a bunch of stuff. Sorry. Right. She does bring him home. You're right. I forgot about that. And then they go to the motel, right? After not long after that. And it's a very sweet,
maybe a day or two.
Yeah, it's a really nice scene where they're talking and she brings him a cake and stuff.
Having Thai food.
And I'm I don't know. I thought it was just kind of going to wrap up really quick and then, oh, what a sweet story. And then I was wrong. I ended up being wrong about that. I shouldn't laugh, but it really hit me because he falls asleep and she goes into her car and I thought she was going to drive off, and now she calls her friend. I think it's the same friend from the store, right? That owns the medicine store. And they talk about she says something very cryptic to her, like Joe's gone or Joe's gonna be gone. What does she say to him?
She sent him away.
She sent him away. Yes.
Yeah.
And that's when the gears started to move in my head, and I'm like, what? And then she goes back upstairs, and she's saying something on the phone. I think she's leaving a message to someone. Did I get that right? She was on the phone with someone. She was talking about something.
She calls the cops.
That's right.
No. That's after.
Oh, that's after. Okay.
But before she went that same instance where she's she tells her friend she sent Joe away. In that same conversation, she tells her friend to burn all their pictures. She doesn't want any people to remember.
Yes, that's what it was. Yeah. When she said that, that's when I was like, oh no. Yeah. What is she going to do? Because remember, I don't know what's going on. I don't know the story. And then I forget what she says. She says something I feel at that point, and then she pulls out the gun, and I was like, oh no. And then
she says, I love you. Was
that what it was? Okay.
You and I are never going to be apart. That sort of deal.
Mommy will love you forever.
Yeah. And I didn't think she was gonna do it for a split second, and then she shoots him, which they don't show. They don't show. They don't cut to him anyway being shot. They just show it from her perspective.
2 shots.
But that her just the sight of her pulling the trigger and that was such a powerful moment of Lucy Liu. It was just heartbreaking, gut wrenching. Yeah. It made me in shock when I first saw it, and even though I knew it's funny. I was talking to my friend Carmela, the one who helps get into gets our credentials for the SADAF. She was like, yeah, I mean, if you've read the story, she read the story before, like she hadn't seen the movie yet, but she's like, yeah, it's heartbreaking, to know like this is the ending of like how it is, and it's like very, it just shows how good of an actress Lucy Liu is. Like it's just the way she pulls that scene off is just so heartbreaking.
Definitely.
Yeah. So now I'm like I want to read the article.
Yeah,
I
definitely
heard
read
about
it. It's interesting to see the comparisons. I know in real life the mom crawls into bed and lays with her son, I think, for a few hours, and just
really?
like caressing his hair, and just kind of like taking that time to be with him one last time.
Yeah,
and she dies a few months later.
Yeah, they were saying that at the post screening discussion, the guy who wrote the article was saying that like the interesting thing was like when she shot him, it made a loud noise, and there was a loud noise that happened because of the area that they're in, and like nobody responded. Police didn't react. Neighbors didn't react. They just it was like a normal thing, which was like so sad to think about it. And it's like when it kind of brings light to also just like how serious this sort of thing, like violence in general, like how often do we hear a gunshot go off? Like for those of us who have lived in those areas, have we heard a gunshot go off and like not really thought about it? We didn't call the police, and that's the sad thing about it.
Yeah,
Well,
nowadays,
one of the sad things about it.
well, you hear like a might not be a gunshot, or it might just be a car backfiring, or maybe a firework. But then I'll get a notification from Ring, in the local like community around you. Someone will post, "Anybody hear the gunshots just right now?" And then
Next door.
The next door, yeah. Anybody hear gunshots?
Next door.
Yeah.
Hear a loud pop?
Yeah.
But I thought she was gonna shoot herself, because I also didn't read the
Same.
article till the end. So,
Same.
Yeah, I read it after the movie, so I was like, she's gonna kill herself, but no, she didn't.
Yeah, it always blows my mind when I was in Salt Lake City. I lived in Salt Lake City for about a year, and I worked in TV news there as well. And we covered a story one time where it was a family. Yeah, it was a suicide homicide situation where like I think the dad killed the family and then himself. And yeah, it always blows me away that people are capable of doing that, and that's what I was expecting in this movie as well. But obviously that doesn't happen. And what is the next scene after that? I don't remember what was the exact scene after that? Was there something, or did it just kind of end?
It was the friend starting to like burn the pictures, but then she decides not to.
And then stop. Yeah, which I thought was great. Excuse me.
Yeah,
I thought that was a great moment. I thought it was very poetic that entire scene took place in the same motel room that he had those memories of.
Yeah.
Even though it ended tragically. And then after she starts to burn the pictures, right? And then she stops, and then doesn't it end there? And then there's like a little caption.
She blows out the matches, and then it ends there.
Oh, gotcha. Okay. Yeah. Very simple ending. Yeah. Very heavy storytelling. I think I said that about Takeout, right? Similar.
Yeah.
Where it's like the storytelling is so simple, but the emotional aspect of it is a lot deeper than just, And that just proves to me that you can tell a very simple story and still have a huge emotional impact, which, believe me, this movie had on me when I watched it. And I was like, oh. Yeah. Like, I was not expecting to get, man, like just, Same blown
here.
away emotionally.
Was
especially, Go ahead, Arnold.
I was just going to say, Takeout was the same person that did Florida Project, or one of the people.
Sean Baker?
Yeah.
Yes.
Or no?
Yes. That was,
So... at the beginning of this movie of Rosemead, just the shot of the motel, it made me think of Florida Project.
Yeah.
Just a little bit.
Yeah.
That's all I was going to say.
Rosemead is definitely a character, as we've discussed in other movies. It's so fun to see a city be a character.
It's funny, like there was the scene where like Irene is going around the city posting the flyer, about her son. There's a scene where she's at the 99 Ranch and putting a flyer there, and that's the 99 Ranch we used to go to, Arnold.
Oh, really?
When we were younger. Remember?
Oh, really?
Yeah, that's
that was the one?
I remember it. Yeah, because I remember it because they pan around the parking lot, and I was like, "Oh, that's exactly the one." We used to go to that 99 Ranch like a lot, and I remember distinctly the smell of like of bamboo shoots, of fresh bamboo shoots. They stink so bad. Yeah. You know, and then, but I remember like memories of just like us eating food, like Chinese food there, like having real authentic Chinese food, not just like Americanized Chinese food. It was just, like,
is that where they also
area...
had a? Is that also where they had like the arcade and like Neo Geo and?
No, that was. It was nearby. I can't remember.
Oh, I think that was in Chinatown somewhere.
Yeah, I think it was like the legit Chinatown.
Oh,
anyways,
I have to give them credit because it felt very authentic to the actual. Even though I've never been to Rosemead, it felt very authentic to like because it's in the LA area, and I've been to LA enough to know like that feels like that would be a small suburb of LA. You know, because there was some show a long time ago that they took place in Palm Springs, but it looked nothing like Palm Springs.
Yeah.
I don't think they filmed it in Palm Springs. So I always appreciate when filmmakers will like really utilize the real location and film it there and not try to like fake it. So I appreciate that. I appreciate that.
I wonder.
I think some of it was filmed in New York also.
Oh, really?
Rosemead?
I don't know how much of it. Yeah, I think part of it was filmed in New York too, but I don't know how much of it.
Yeah, I mean, I couldn't say.
Yeah, I don't know. I was really filming that much.
But I was gonna say, I think the reason why they like that show or movie like wasn't filmed in actual Palm Springs was because it was probably too expensive.
Too expensive, yeah. Which is, you know, I've shit on Palm Springs a lot on this show and in real life, as you guys know. But Palm Springs does have some interesting visual locations. I think the desert aesthetic, you know, there's a lot of cool stuff there. So it's a shame because you could film because Palm Springs proper is postmodern like aesthetic throughout the whole city pretty much, and there's a lot of great locations.
It has a great character.
Yeah,
it has great character.
It does,
and it's a shame that we were just kind of alluding to.
Plus those mountain vistas, dude. You know,
dude, the lights. You know, when it comes out like sunrise and sunset, it's just amazing.
Yeah, for those of you listening who've never been to Palm Springs, go say hi to Arnold while you're there. First of all. You know, catch lunch, and then go to downtown Palm Springs and just walk around. You don't even have to buy or spend anything. Just walk around, and you'll see there's its own Walk of Fame. By the way, lots of celebrities have their own star on the Palm Springs Walk of Fame. Is the Maryland statue up now?
Yeah,
the Maryland statue's there. Oh, they
moved it.
It's like shifted like 25 feet away.
The I Love Lucy bench is there.
It's still there. Yeah,
you can go see Elvis's house, his honeymoon hideaway.
And then here's one thing. Every morning in Palm Springs, at a certain angle, you'll see the shadow of an angel praying, which I captured.
Nope.
From my.
Can't see it.
Oh, let's see.
Can't
Here
see
we
it.
go.
It's the effects. It's not gonna let you. Sorry.
Oh no! Oh wait, you see that?
Kind of. Not great though.
That shadow is the shadow of an angel on the mountain praying.
That's so.
I heard at night it turns into it looks like a witch. Writing
Oh, really?
Yeah, I heard.
Wait, what's casting that shadow?
It's the hillside, I think.
Yeah, the way the sun hits it in the morning, it makes it look like it's like an angel praying like this.
Yeah.
I'll post it on my.
Yeah,
I was gonna post it today, but I just
HLP says the Sonny Bono statue. Sonny Bono used to be the mayor.
Oh, yeah, they had the funeral right there at St. Teresa off of Ramon Road.
Yeah,
I remember.
Not to mention. The Hollywood neighborhood, right? The famous movie colony neighborhood or whatever it's called, where so many famous stars of old and new have had homes.
Las Palmas. Las Palmas.
Yeah.
So lots of cool things, and it's not big either. That's the crazy thing. Palm Springs is not a big city at all, and it's very dense with history and all kinds of cool shit. So
and then also go to Indio. Go to like where all the
Indio
cool
for the best Mexican food in town. Yeah,
and then all the cool the really artistic kids are at these days.
Don't go to Coachella. Don't go to the real life Coachella. It's not like what you think it might be.
No.
Just don't go to the cinema.
Downtown
Joel.
India, there's a lot of cool like new shops and businesses happening there. There's music venues,
Yeah.
Yeah.
hi-fi, like Rosemary Hi-Fi.
Yeah.
Like, yeah.
Maybe someday I'll get rich and I'll film a movie there. Damn the cost. I'm going to film a goddamn movie there in Palm Springs.
I live in Cathedral
let's-
City now, so come to Cathedral City. We have tons and tons of dispensaries here. You can have your choice. If you're a first-time customer, you'll get at least 10% off. Sometimes you'll get 30%. And a lot of times at certain ones, they have a really great happy hours and really great deals of like 70% off or like these markdowns. And especially if you're a first-time customer. And then if you use my somebody's referral code, maybe you can get like a deal or something.
Just don't go to the Food for Less shopping center, right, Arnold?
Don't eat there. But
Don't eat there, no.
where maybe you can get a drink like at the new Dutch Bros or To Be Honest.
Yeah,
Don't go to Dutch Bros. Go to TV Honest.
Yeah.
Support the local businesses.
If you want some, speaking of local businesses, you want authentic Chinese food, go to Panda Express in Cathedral City as well.
Or in
China
India. CIE.
China is actually really good. I like China.
Yeah.
I finally tried CIE Chinese Sichuan cuisine in India.
They're pretty legit. They're pretty legit.
And it's like right there. If you go for jury duty, like I could see the window.
For all you people who are going to jury duty on India.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, everybody knows when you go to jury duty, you go to the Del Taco across the street for lunch. The random Del Taco that's just right there next to the bail bondsman.
There's a lot more options now.
Oh, good. Yeah.
I remember where I know that actress from. Have you guys seen The Brother's Son?
No.
Oh, it's such a good series. You guys gotta watch that. The Brother's Son. Her name is I think Michelle or something. Anyways, Madison.
Nice.
Her name is Madison. Madison Hugh. She plays Jeannie in this movie, but she's one of the main characters in The Brother's Son, which is a good series.
Nice.
Oh.
Yeah. Short one.
All right, guys. Well, that's the movie. That's Rosemead. Good flick.
Yes.
I think sounds like we all enjoyed it. I think unless there's nothing else, I think we should go around and give our
You can
final
always tell that
thoughts.
we
and work.
enjoyed it. You can always
Yeah.
tell that we enjoyed it when we go this long.
Yeah, I know. Sometimes there's been times I don't remember what movie specifically. There's been times when I struggle to like, how do we keep the conversation on this? No, but now with this one, this is a good one to talk about.
Yeah.
Donnie, I'll start with you though. Final thoughts on Rosemead.
Yeah, I love the way this movie turned out. Lucy Liu is amazing. She definitely should be winning an award for this. At least I think so. I'm glad we were able to see this side of her. She's often like typecasted in certain roles, and I'm glad it stayed true to what Asian Americans experience growing up as like second, third generation in America. So that was really good. You can find me at _Donnie Appleseed on all the social medias, and I give this a 5 out of 5. Like it was amazing. And also, thank you, Carmela, for giving us access to some of these films.
Yes.
Not only this, but there's a whole list of them that she was able to get us access to. So thank you, Carmela, for that. We appreciate it.
Maybe a little San Diego Asian Film Festival partnership in the future. Maybe with the Never Seen It podcast. Who knows? Who knows? We'll see.
Well, she's definitely down to do our show. So
Nice. Let's get it on. Yeah. Talk about anything. Alex, tell us final thoughts on Rosemead.
yeah, so I won't get in too long into this because we've gone on long enough. But yes, I really enjoyed this film. When I first saw this at the San Diego Asian Film Festival, I went into it like completely blind. I did not know. All I knew was the synopsis, and it seemed very vague, the way they did it. And then when I walked into the theater, Carmela told me about that it was based on a true story. I did not know that it was based on a true story, and that put things into an even more interesting light. It's like, okay, how is this going to be done? I knew that Lucy Liu was in it. I saw the trailer. It was still kind of vague to me. At first, I didn't think Lucy Liu was pulling off like the accent very well.
I thought the same in the trailer. Yeah.
But then when you watch the film, it sounded like she was doing it really like did an amazing job. I don't know why. Like they whenever they cut like trailers, it's always like different footage and stuff like that.
She may
they
have also
access to-
ADR'd it later and done a
That's
better.
true.
You know, I'm guessing. I don't know for sure, but it's possible.
Yeah. Either way, like, and who am I to judge? I'm not Chinese, you know, like when I do a Filipino accent, to me, it sounds like super hyperbolic, you know, just like, just like super, just like exaggerated. Like it could be, but some people thought, my mom thinks like, oh, you sound like your Lola. I'm like, do I really? I don't know. Yeah. Watching it. Like,
Wait, sorry. Who's Lola? Is that a person? Is that a person?
That's Lola is a grandmother in Filipino, in Tagalog.
Oh, gotcha. Interesting.
Yeah. But yeah, when I watched it in at the festival, man, I was like blown away. At the time I rated it a 4. I watched it again, and it just got better actually. That my rating for it's just like I understood what was going on, and it's like after reading the article as well, and knowing more about the backstory, it's even more like heartbreaking. And in the article, that in real life, the mom, Irene, they changed the names, but in real life, the mom is arrested. She's about to be put on trial, but then she's about to die, and so they just like release her and put her in hospice, and she dies alone. But yeah, this movie was just brilliant, powerhouse performance by Lucy Liu, like such an amazing job by what's his name, Lawrence Joe, what's his name?
Lawrence Shu.
Lawrence Shu. Yeah, dude, he like for a first time acting, he did an amazing job. He like, and I do agree with you, Donald. Like Lucy Liu does deserve an award for this. Like overdue. You know, long overdue for that. And I really hope that like this launches her career into a new era where she gets like more like these really powerful roles, because she deserves it. She's like, at first I didn't really I see her in that light because obviously she was like to me as like an action star, especially after Kill Bill. But now after this, it's like she's definitely got that full range. She's got that.
Yeah.
Like
she deserves her flowers.
She definitely does. Give her her flowers with Rosemead. And yeah, to me, 4.5 out of 5. Yeah, and you can find me at Daily Dares and all the socials.
Thank you, Alex, for that. Great points all around. And Arnold, we'll come to you next. Final thoughts on Rosemead, my friend.
So, I really enjoyed this movie. To begin with, when I first put it on, I went into it not knowing anything about it except that Rosemead is a city in the LA area. Oh, that's all that I was thinking. I was thinking like, what is it going to be something else other than that? But now when I watched it last night, and then I was like, I had to cook some noodles, I had to bake a ham, and that was after like, and I didn't start doing that until like 8, and then I'm like, oh, damn, when am I gonna watch this movie? And so like I didn't actually start watching the movie until like 11, or and then after a long day at work, I was tired, and then when I started, when you first started watching it, I'm like, I see subtitles, I'm like, damn, no, not subtitles. I can't even focus to read right now. And so then I was like, okay, hold on, let me pause it. And because I still had the ham in the oven, I was like still basting it and stuff. And then like, I didn't realize that because we watched it through the link. For whatever reason, every time I would pause it, the movie would start over from the very beginning, like, but I fast forward to where I left off. And then, but then once I finally was like, okay, I'm gonna sit down and relax, and watch the movie, it got better, and it captivated me, and I really enjoyed all we discussed a lot about it, not much more else that I can say. I think we touched on everything. But I will give this movie a letterbox 4 for me. And I would love to read the article and maybe have the chance again to watch it again, because I have a sneaky feeling that like you, Alex, you mentioned that when you saw it again that you liked it even more. And so for now, I'd say a 4. And I don't know, on Letterboxd, can you go back and change your score?
Yeah, you can.
Your rating? Okay, yeah. So
that's what I'm actually end up doing.
I really hope that this movie gets a lot more exposure, because it's a movie. It was like the main movie, or would you call it the center focus?
It was a centerpiece.
Centerpiece of the San Diego Asian Film Festival, rightfully so. And I really, really hope that people will go out and watch it. I hope that people will see this episode and then be curious and then want to watch the movie. Especially, one more thing. You can find me everywhere at Arnie Collego. But I was going to say, especially after hearing the final rating and last final words from Mr. Adrian De La Torre, BOOTZ too big.
Yes.
Best
thank
for
you,
last.
Arnold. Oh, yeah. Wow. I wouldn't say that, but yes. No, I really enjoyed this film. I will read my letterbox review. Rosemead really hit me harder than I expected. Lucy Liu absolutely owns the role of Irene, a mom quietly battling cancer while trying to hold things together for her schizophrenic son, Joe. Their whole relationship is a push and pull of love, fear, and unspoken things because both of them are hiding secrets from one another. The film nails the everyday tension they live under. Joe's episodes feel painfully real, whether it's him breaking under the pressure of a school shooter drill or getting swept up in paranoia during moments that should have been normal, like following a girl into a bedroom, thinking he was going to finally get lucky. But meanwhile, Irene is dealing with nosy neighbors, superstitious aunties whispering that maybe a demon has taken a hold of him. That was the other thing that we forgot to talk about. And her own embarrassment about Joe seeing a therapist. There is a killer line where someone says, "Therapist, you sound like a foreigner." And it hits harder it hits that cultural stigma so well. What I appreciated is how the movie pushes back on the dangerous schizophrenic trope. The therapist straight up tells Irene and us that most schizophrenic people are not violent. Joe is not a threat. He is scared, overwhelmed, ashamed, and constantly wrestling with voices he cannot control. And yet he also refuses to take his meds, something the movie explores with a lot of nuance instead of judgment. Layer all of that with Joe accidentally finding his mom's cancer meds, and Irene realizing she's running out of time while her son is unraveling. And you get this heavy, heartbreaking journey of two people trying their best with what little they have. The ending hits hard. It returns to a place filled with happier memories, and the film lets the contrast do all the emotional work. I won't spoil anything, even though we already talked about it on the show. But it leaves you hollowed out, thinking about the limits of love, fear, and impossible choices. And for that, I give this movie, Rosemead, on Letterboxd, 4 stars out of 5. So that's my final review. You can find me on Letterboxd at Boots Too Big. You can find the show everywhere else, because we are everywhere. Never Seen It Podcast. Find us on Instagram, TikTok, Threads, Blue Sky, Facebook, and even X. Visit our website, neverseenitpodcast.com. Email us, podcast.neverseenit@gmail.com. We'd love to hear from you. Have you seen Rosemead? Will you go see Rosemead when it comes out? Let us know what you think. Subscribe to us on Spotify, Apple, and YouTube, or wherever you get your podcasts from. If you like the show, share it. Leave us a nice review, which, by the way, we did get a nice review. Very recent. This is real. This isn't a joke, by the way. A good gentleman on Facebook, Joshua Drake, left us a review saying, "These guys are cool and they make some good content themselves and they are worth a recommendation." So thank you, Joshua, for leaving us that. Yeah. We always appreciate actual authentic comments of love. But we'll take what we can get, right, guys?
We get lots of comments of love from HLP too. HLP, yes, you're the number one. We love you. We love you so much.
He's the super fan of the Never Seen It Podcast, and he tries to join us when he can on the chat here. So thank you to HLP. Big thanks to Mr. Kyle Maps in a burn cycle for our intro and outro music. You can find Kyle on Instagram at selfies_food_and_pets. Thanks for listening. Any final thoughts? Go ahead.
I'm gonna go see Kyle at some wrestling show this Thanksgiving weekend.
Nice.
Here in San Diego.
Take a selfie and share it on the.
I will. It's a wrestling show called Nah or Never. I don't know. I think it's called. I think the organization is called Nearly Almost Wrestling. But yeah, it should be fun.
You're gonna run into Tim Wash. He's gonna be like, "Oh, what time is it?"
He's gonna be
Like
walking up to me drunk and be like,
exactly.
"Oh,
You're like, you look familiar."
Hopefully that's the. Have you seen that wrestling? What do you call it? League? Or I don't know. With the guy who he's twirling pizza the whole time while he's
it's not that guy. I wish.
Oh yeah.
His name is
hilarious.
yeah. But anyways,
All right.
Adrian, you were
What's
saying.
that?
You were saying.
About what, Tim?
Any last words?
Oh yeah, no. Any final thoughts? I
anybody?
don't think anybody. Normally Justin does it, but he's not here tonight. So.
Yeah.
Well,
I can't think of anything good.
Just last words. Thank you again to the San Diego Asian Film Festival.
Oh, yes.
We can't thank you enough for giving us access to like not only the film festival but like to the pre-festival screeners that we've been able to, hopefully do more reviews of. And we're going to be doing another one in the near future for Left-Handed Girl, so stay tuned for that one.
Yes, thanks for mentioning that. That's great. All right.